What's up, YouTube box community? It's Mr. Universal Sports. I'm back. I am really in an undisclosed location that I can't reveal. But anyway, I'm covering that Triple G versus David Lemieux fight. But first, I just want to say this. That was a good card. You saw like 4 pretty good action-packed fights. First, I'm going to talk about that Johnson versus O'Kane fight. Man, 2 knockdowns in the first round by Johnson. But O'Kane is a tough SOB. He will not go down for his own good. Obviously, Johnson got the victory, but O'Kane obviously has a TV friendly style, but honestly, this was a WBA title eliminator. I don't think he had any business to being in that type of fight, but good victory by Johnson, and obviously he's in line for Triple G next. If I were him, I would avoid Triple G because I saw flaws in Johnson. Like when he lands a punch, he goes straight back, which you never do. And he just needs to work on a few things at the gym. But he's definitely now the mandatory for one of Triple G's belts, which is the WBA, and that was a pretty good fight. On next to the heavyweight fight, Luis Ortiz, the Cuban, versus Gennady from Argentina. Before this fight, I looked up Gennady, and I could be butchering his name, but I couldn't find anything on him. I couldn't find his height, his reach, or nothing. Just his record on BoxRec. That was it. Barely could find no tape on him or anything. But I think that ended in 3rd round KO, and I think the referee with that I forget his name. I can't pronounce the Russian's name, the heavyweight's name, who is now brain damage from a fight me and Julian were tattooing about a couple years ago. But I think with that still on everybody's mind, it was a good stoppage, and I'm glad they stopped the fight. But Luis Ortiz looks pretty good, and I would love to see him against one of the heavyweights. Wilder, Klitschko, Stavern. But I want to see him versus Stavern before anything. But that was Luis Ortiz looked it very impressive, but the only thing about Luis Ortiz is that one thing he can punch, but I want to see him in better shape. He came in at 261. I'd love to come in and love to see him at 250, 245 next time. But anyway, on to the co-feature, which was Roman Gonzalez Chocolatito versus Brian the Hawaiian Punch Valoria. Man, that he looked impressive. Roman Gonzalez. I wouldn't anoint him pound for pound status yet, but he looked impressive, landing 8, 9, 10, 12 punch combinations, moving the ring. I did give the first round to Valoria, the Hawaiian Punch, but after that it was all Roman Gonzalez up until the stoppage, and which was a very good stoppage. Now for the main event, Triple G versus David Lemieux. Now I'm not gonna lie, I went when I'm wrong on Facebook and on YouTube a little bit. I was saying that the upset was going to happen. I'm just a big fan of upsets in general. I'm just a big fan of upsets, and I thought David Lemieux was going to pull the upsets, and he landed some pretty impressive punches. But here's what I really liked about Triple G. I think this is his most impressive performance yet. Instead of trying to not get this guy out early, he kept on working the jab within the first 4 rounds. Working the jab, working the jab, working the jab. Just keeping him off bay. Then when in the 3rd, 4th round, when Lemieux did try to land a big punch, he tied him up, showing great ring intelligence, and that was I was impressed with. Also, what I liked about Lemieux is that early, even though he didn't try to get discouraged, he didn't get discouraged at all. He kept on moving his head in the early rounds, but obviously Triple G I think he broke his record for most jabs, his personal record for most jabs landed, and David Lemieux didn't jab his way in. Obviously, the only thing I think he relied on was his power, and he thought he could probably get Golovkin out of there, but Golovkin obviously shown that he does have a chin, and he's going to be a problem for anybody in the middleweight division. Now, we talked about this in other videos where how come this fight can't be made? How come this fight can't be made? I would love to see him against the Al Heyman guys, which is Danny Jacobs or Kid Chocolate, Peter Quillen, but I don't think they could beat Triple G. And obviously, there's an unofficial tournament going on. Next month is the big Miguel Cotto versus So who will Canelo Alvarez fight? But I'll have Canelo winning that fight, and just because Canelo is rapidly improving, I have Canelo winning that fight. So unofficially, maybe next May we'll see Triple G versus Canelo Alvarez. But if Canelo were to win against Miguel Cotto, I'd love to see him go against like a Torino Johnson first, just to like test the waters at 160, then go up to fight Triple G, and see how in September, see how you do. Yeah, but too bad we can't. This whole networks beefing and promoters beefing. We just want to see the fights, man. Triple G damn near has all the belts at 160 pounds right now. Cotto he's the interim champ for the WBC. I forget so many belts. I forget who has the belt and who doesn't. That's the problem in boxing. He's the closest thing to being a undisputed champion. But I like Triple G. He looked really impressive tonight. Anyway, that's all, folks. Tell me what you guys think about the fights. It's your boy, Mr. Universal Sports, and I'm out. Peace. Have a good night.